Gotta use throttle to fly. Today, I'll be venturing into something I haven't done in some time, and that's FPV flying. Now, I've never really got into the FPV quad racer scene or craze very much, so I did fool around a bit with a trainer type some years ago, and you can see a video of that or way back in my timeline. And I did also had a go at flying a fixed wing model with just an onboard camera with some pretty good success, but that's really been it until now. I was recently introduced into a 3D printed FPV oriented flying wing from Crazycle, and I was really intrigued with the design. I thought it would make an interesting model to fly. Plus, it would give me a chance to try out some new LW-PLA from eSun. Now, LW-PLA is a relatively new type of 3D filament that's nearly 50% lighter than regular PLA, yet it's still strong enough for making flying models. Now, it's been a bit limited in availability in the US, but another company, eSun, has now started selling their own version. So stay with me while I convert this into this.
Time to load the eSun filament. Now, it took a few test prints to dial in the temps and flow rates, which are a bit different than regular PLA. With the printer mostly tuned in, it was time to start printing. The eSun LW-PLA can achieve really smooth surface texture when tuned correctly. There are not a lot of pieces to the Orca. Since you generally can't use retraction on LW-PLA, expect quite a bit of stringing. It can be a bit messy, but it is quite normal for this type of filament. Pieces are glued in with medium CA. I also noticed the holes in the fuselage for alignment rods, but I just eyeballed it. Next were installation of the servos, which screw right into the plastic. A carbon rod is used to provide a spar for the wings. The whole model assembled quite quickly. The motor is a generic 2200 kV of 2212 size. Note that I printed the motor mount in ABS, which is more heat resistant. There's a clever motor pod mounting system that uses 2 screws. I also noted integrated motor cooling holes. The elevons need to be cut from the wing. Then CA hinges can be added to the built-in hinge slots. Control rods are simple Z-bends with Dubro easy connectors at the control horns. The nose cone is designed to hold a camera, so I hot glued in an old run cam I had laying around. Transmitter was also shoehorned in as well. A few more screws, and we have transmission. Ground control to Major Dan. The whole thing minus battery weighs about 320 grams, or 1 pound 13 ounces. It was a relatively calm, if not hot, day at the field. I even had a chance to warm up with someone else's plane.
3D printed flying wing thingamajiggy, which names I can't remember at the moment. The Orca. This is the Orca maiden flight. Let's see how this thing runs. We're going to do this, not FPV, although it's recording, to see how well this thing flies. Hopefully the CG is right, the power is right. Evgeny can throw. Wind is that way. All right. Okay. Ready? Did it hit you? It did.
Just a bit.
Oops. Oops. Sorry. I guess that sign was right. How bad do you think it is?
Ooh, it was bad. And certainly not something field repairable. And my launcher didn't fare much better. A bloodied hand and a broken plane. Perhaps I should have been more careful on the throttle. Back in the workshop, I gutted the broken hulk. Fortunately, I did not glue in the spar, so it could easily be reused. With everything out, the freshly printed hull can be assembled. This time I remembered there were included files to print your own hinges out of flexible filament. There is even a printable tool to make your own custom hinges out of plastic or cloth. The printed hinges worked out quite nicely. I decided to print a more colorful hatch out of PLA to complete the rebuild.
So as you can see, I've rebuilt the Orca. A little quick print over the week, and we put it all back together again with some slight changes and improvements. Now hopefully we won't repeat what happened last time with a little bit of bloodletting from my hopeful launcher. Hopefully the medical bills won't be too bad. But anyways, he's doing fine, and we are going to try it again, except this time I'm going to do something a little different. So yes, I have decided to pull my rail launcher out of the retirement. I never thought I'd use it again, but a good thing I kept it around because we're going to use it today to bungee launch this model. So what I've done is I've actually added some hooks here on the bottom, some metal hooks. And what I'm going to do is connect it up to the launcher, which is a length of bungee cord and some string, and it's got a foot release. And we're going to give it a go, old school style. Yeah, yes. Hopefully it'll make it out in one piece. So let's give it a try.
The bungee launch uses a length of surgical tubing with string and hooks at the end. Essentially a giant rubber band. A foot release unhooks the restraining hook and away we go. In theory.
We are good. Here goes nothing. Press the button, Frank. Got to use throttle to fly. Oops. Well, that didn't work as planned. I was a little late on the throttle, and I think didn't have quite enough tension in the line. Although they recommend 5 times the weight of the model, I may have calculated that slightly off. I was a little conservative. It was actually less than 5 times, so we'll stretch it out a little more and we'll give it a shot. And this time, I think I remember to put the throttle on it.
Now to try that with a bit more tension.
Well, that shouldn't hit. That's low. All right. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay.
Okay, now that should have worked.
Made a little too much tension?
Nope. In fact, I was still a bit low on the tension strings. Well, back to the old repair bench.
So, you know, I really do love this hobby, but sometimes it can be a bit trying, I guess you could say. And, you know, just a reminder that I am human, and sometimes I need to get taken down a peg and show that I'm not infallible, and which is all good. But, you know, I am concerned of both issues of, you know, having an issue with both models kind of crashing in the same way. I'm really wondering if something else is going on. But fortunately, I've got video, and I don't only have video in several different angles. So I think I'm going to take a really close look at the footage and see what's going on, because I am not going to give up this easily. So, to quote a famous character, I know not all what may be coming, but be it what will, I'll do it laughing.
So join me next time for part 2 when I tackle my own whale. So, and really to help that, I thought I'd pull out something out of the, let me restart this again.